gusta la banda. My name is Utkarsh. I worked as a software engineer at Google Munich. A lot of us aspire to work outside India, especially in top tech giants. Do you know the typical salaries in tech job outside India? Do you know what you should learn? Do you know where you should apply for jobs? Are there easier alternate paths? Do you understand how the work culture differs in India versus outside? To know the answer for all these questions, join us in our free masterclass where we discuss this and more. To join, click the link below.
Middle class trap. Right now I'm in Bangalore and I want you to look at that building right now. Now, imagine people living in that building. How much money do you think they must be making on an average? 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh, 2 lakh. But imagine if you're making 2 lakh a month, what would be the rent of that? 30,000, 40,000, 50,000? And then what is your expenses? 50,000, 1 lakh? Hardly you're saving 50,000 a month. And on top of that, car loan, home loan, so many loans that you have if you bought one, taking care of your family, your parents. Basta kya hai? Nothing. This is called a middle class trap. We have been brainwashed to live a mediocre life, forced to continue to work in that job, pay the money and die. Is that what you really want in your life? Now the thing is, I was in that middle class trap and I came out of it in the year 2018. I quit my job and I built the business on our passion. Ever since, I can travel the world, live in fanciest places. I live in Dubai, meet amazing people, share the stage with some renowned entrepreneurs and philanthropists. I contribute to a lot of children's education. In fact, we spend 8 crores in just educating children. I could do all that only because I came out of that middle class trap. And I know you listening to this, you resonate with my feeling. You are also in that trap. How do you come out of that? How do you become wealthy? Is by doing things which you have never done before, meaning going beyond your 9-to-5 life, starting something on your own around your passion. But you're wondering, how, where, what is the idea? I need money. No, none of these things you need. All you need is your passion, your knowledge, and a computer with the internet. If you have all that, you can build the business around passion and come out of this middle class trap. If you want my help, I'm doing a webinar, which is 3-hour webinar. If you join, I'm going to share a blueprint called Passionpreneur Blueprint, which is helping you to build your business on passion. It has helped so many of my mentees come out of the middle class trap, and it can help you as well. Many of my mentees become crorepati, TEDx speaker, authors, coach, and so many things they've accomplished in such a short period of time. You'll be shocked to know their stories. Click the link. I'll see you in the webinar. Book the seat before the offer goes away. Take care. This is Dave Gadvi on a mission to transform 1 billion lives. And I hope you will allow me or give me an opportunity to serve you and help you to come out of that middle class trap. Become the crorepati, first generation crorepati in your life.
When I joined Dave Gadvi, I transformed myself.
He's someone who has a heart of gold.
My perspective towards seeing the business has changed. He was a person I will always look as an epitome of serving.
Building up that enthusiasm and energy to go behind what you like, that's what Dave Gadvi had impacted a lot around this.
आपका नाम है तुलसी
Ready?
The Minister for Women and Child Development, the only non-Muslim to lead the Ministry of Minority Affairs, has held the portfolios of Education, Textile, Human Resource Development, I&B, one of the youngest ministers in Prime Minister Modi's cabinet, an MP from Amethi. Smriti Irani, thank you so much for speaking to Brute.
Thank you for having me here.
I would like by first saying that we were pleasantly surprised. Nobody from your team contacted us saying, please, what are you going to ask the minister? Tell us. You can ask these questions and not those questions. Something that, or at least give us talking points, quote unquote. That is the norm, which is in most, politicians' offices and most newsrooms succumb to. So thank you for that for a no holds barred interview in the Brute newsroom.
And my pleasure, but I think my introduction was a bit flawed.
It was?
It is, indeed.
Why
Not
do you say
one
that?
of the youngest in the Modi
youngest.
cabinet.
Okay.
Secondly, while you point out very graciously so that I'm a non-Muslim in the minorities ministry, what you possibly didn't point out is that I'm the first woman to hold cabinet rank in education, first woman to hold cabinet rank in textiles. And why I'm pointing out these flaws is that we normally adjudicate our opinions on politicians on the basis of one or two such silos which have been a part of normal political talk, which is what is your religion, what is your gender. When we start quantifying how we look at politicians as to what did you deliver, I think that's when the tectonic shift about conversations around politics will be visible, especially amongst the young.
Absolutely. Thank you for pointing that out, especially on the education bit as well. So let's start with the current portfolios that you hold. I would like to start with, for women and child development. So a study by JAMA Network Open Journal, it's a peer-reviewed journal, in March 2024, this month.
And
says,
who owns the journal?
I don't know who owns it. We'll come back to
matters.
you. We'll come back to you on
who
it.
owns the journal?
Sure.
Second, who informed the journal? Third, what was the raw data on the basis of which the journal reads a particular point of view?
Okay.
Fourth, what is the questionnaire with regards to the raw data?
Okay, so let me first ask my question, and I'm sure you know the JAMA journal and the question that I'm going to ask you.
But why am I saying this?
Yes.
Is that because I know the prejudice with which the question is to be posed.
Right.
That is where I'm already giving you 4 disclosures that should be made for your viewers.
But I'm going to also quote data from what your ministry has put forth as well, and it won't matter just with this journal.
Everything matters.
Okay, so let me just come back to my question.
Yes.
So it said that India has the highest number of what they called as quote-unquote zero food children.
Firstly, yes, that's
zero
exactly
food
why
children.
this is a fallacy, one, by a guy called Subramaniam. And this gentleman took money from an organization called the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation without announcing why he's taking the money. Secondly, because we have communications from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation on this, he has utilized terminologies which scientifically don't exist.
So you're saying the zero food children?
Scientifically, if you tell me 60 lakh children in this country had no food, you're telling me Brute would be sitting quiet and not reporting? Doesn't make sense. You're telling me state governments would sit quiet? Doesn't make sense. You think public representatives across all political hues would keep quiet? Does not make sense. So this gentleman particularly comes from a flawed and prejudiced position. That is something which already the foundation who funded him has made a disclosure to the ministry.
Saying that we didn't know what we were giving the monies for.
And we have they have provided support for something called the Portion Tracker, which tracks 75 million kids in this country under the age of 6 and supplementary nutrition delivered to them at the doorstep.
Right.
And measurement as to their nutritional health as per WHO standards.
Correct.
So do you understand the dichotomy?
Absolutely. I'm just going to come back to the Portion Tracker because Portion 2.0 and everything that the ministry is doing. In the Rajya Sabha last year,
the issue is, would you then concede that your question to begin with was flawed?
No.
On the basis of?
No, because you didn't let me complete the question.
Prove to me 6.7 million kids have no food.
But I didn't say 6.7 million.
You did. You referred to JAMA, you referred to the study, and that is the number in which...
Okay, let me complete my question.
Yes.
My question is this. Your ministry had put in the Rajya Sabha, your ministry had said that severely malnutritioned children was at 14 lakhs, right, in the Rajya Sabha. And this is 2023. And 43 lakhs were, 14 lakhs were severely malnutrition, 43 lakhs were malnutrition.
Firstly, you know who reports these numbers?
You had put this in the Rajya Sabha.
Who reports this number for me to report?
The statistics...
No. Since you don't know, let me inform you. When we create the tracker, before we created the tracker, the supposition in India was that over 8 million kids are malnourished, and this is as per sub-Saharan African results which were compared with India.
And this was given by not an Indian number.
No, this is so-called these Dr. Subramaniam kind of people.
Okay.
Then we started asking, can you prove us? Where are these 8 million kids? We asked every state government to start measuring. Did you know before Prime Minister Modi became the Prime Minister, The Anganwadi system did not even have a separate budget line for water and sanitation. Did you know before Prime Minister Modi came into office, and since you want to catch me on the wrong foot, unfortunately you call the wrong person to the brute office.
Well, I'm not catching you on the wrong foot.
Allow me
Sure, please
to
go
now
ahead.
answer. There was never a measuring device digitally available where a state, district authority and a central authority could check and measure as to the nutritional health of women and children in Anganwadi systems. Prime Minister Modi introduced smart devices for every state government, irrespective of who's in government, to purchase that device. Second, the measuring standards as per WHO did not even coincide between two ministries, that being Ministry of Health and Ministry of Women and Child Development. For the first time, a consensus was created under WHO standards. Third, our Anganwadi workers were never trained as per WHO standards to measure. So in the lack of people measuring, in the lack of standards, in the lack of reporting instruments, India has taken a tectonic shift. Then we started saying, can you tell us exactly what is SAM and what is MAM? Do you know the difference?
No.
Precisely. So since you wanted to interview me, I was hopeful that there would be at least some understanding of all these nomenclatures. Severely acutely malnourished and those who are on the margins of being severely acutely malnourished are two different entities altogether. Secondly, what entails the intervention medically for such children? This is an intergenerational challenge, which means if the mother and the father have had a nutritional challenge as adults living being before reproduction, that also genetically becomes a part of the transference of genes to this child. And this child then at birth or the mother at the inception of the pregnancy is identified as somebody who has this problem, and hence we then start providing her supplementary nutrition, we start providing her with medical support, and then we look after the child who is thus born.
Right.
That is why the Prime Minister started something called the Pradhan Mantri Matra Vandana Yojana. Under the Matra Vandana Yojana, 3 crore women have been given over 14,000 crore rupees in their bank account directly. What for? So that they can go and get themselves checked at the hospital. They can go and get themselves vaccinated during their pregnancy. Post-pregnancy, then the same women can be given supplementary nutrition. What we are fighting is a generational battle, which becomes very simplified in negative headlines. What we are reporting is numbers that were actually 8 million in reportage have come down drastically, but that number you will never report because that doesn't make for a great headline.
No, so
what we are also servicing now, since you've set up the conversation, is that can you imagine to fight malnutrition, the governments before Narendra Modi came into, and so-called Anganwadi systems have been in existence since the 1970s.
Right.
Imagine making a pronouncement in the Congress era, not servicing it with money, not servicing it with any instruments, not servicing it with any measuring, not servicing it with any training, and then pontificating.
So my question to you, ma'am, was, which now I will finally complete, is this, that how did we get here? Half of which you just said that there is an indicator, like you said, Sam, and the other one, which of course I'm not somebody heading the ministry.
So let me give you another
but how did we get here? And also on the sub-Saharan one, I just wanted to put it in
and let me tell you why
context.
this happens.
Right.
Because those companies that come and tell you as consultants, and this has happened in our conversation with UNICEF, it's a part of documentary evidence. We've had companies come and say, "Nee, aap ye packet wala khana khila do, और उनके iron बढ़ जाएगा." I said, can you imagine telling somebody who has a limited economic scopes कि तुम ये packet खरीदो? I said, we won't do that in government. What will we do? Prime Minister Modi ensured that we give them the supplementary nutrition with additional food for children under the age of 6, women who are lactating, women who are pregnant, give them cash alongside in their bank accounts. But we also do is home visits by Anganwadis, so that they do a measurement at home also if they don't come to the Anganwadi.
So these measurements are weight, height.
Yes, as per WHO standards. So it's not as though somebody said, "Acha, tumne apna hi standard bana liya." We sat down with WHO. We not only standardized the weights and measurements, we also told the World Bank that become a third party check And we created the world's largest nutritional digital platform. Why? We even know if some state has a non-functional Anganwadi. Every state from the government of India takes money to open an Anganwadi. We today can tell a state कि आपके इस जिले में, इस गांव में, इस बस्ती में ये वाली आंगनवाड़ी अभी चल नहीं रही है. आप खोलने वाले हो, नहीं खोलने वाले हो, क्यों नहीं चल रही? We not only do that, we have a helpline where we are calling all the beneficiaries to say that your benefit show as taken on our dashboard.